In this week's parasha, the Torah gives us a very deep and important message. We were commanded to donate gold, silver, copper, etc. to build the Mishkan, the tabernacle in the wilderness. The purpose being, V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham, and you will build for me a tabernacle and I will dwell among you. It doesn't say I will dwell in it. It says among you, among the Jewish nation. In other words, the entire Beit HaMikdash and everything that went on there was in order that the Beit HaMikdash will be the center for the descending of the divine presence into this lower world. But the purpose was not to remain there, but to be transmitted from there, the holiness of the Shekhinah, into all the Jewish homes. V'asuli mikdash v'shachanti betocham, I will dwell among you. Like a power station for electricity. The purpose is not that the electricity remains in it. It is transmitted to light up every home in the town, in the country. So, the ultimate purpose of the divine presence is to rest within the Jewish nation, in the homes of the Jewish nation. That every Jewish home should be a place where the Shekhinah can enter into and be part of. Among the different reasons that the Zohar explains why Hashem created was the world was begin the ishtemodunle, meaning in order that we will recognize Hashem, know Hashem, and be connected to Hashem, even in this lowly world. And this is the concept of V'shachanti betocham, I will dwell among you. Obviously, when the Shekhinah dwells within Am Yisrael will be very successful, they will be a holy nation, they will excel in spirituality, they will excel in materialism. In every area, they will be great because the Shekhinah, the divine presence, is with them. As Hazal say, Ish v'isha shezachu Shekhinah benehem. A husband and wife who will merit it, the divine presence will be within them, between them. Obviously, the simple meaning here implies that when we have the Beit HaMikdash, the service of Hashem in the Beit HaMikdash would draw the Shekhinah down into this world, and then from there transmitted to all the Jewish homes and families. Reb Chaim Volozhiner, in his Sefer Nefesh HaChaim, writes that we have another Hazal on this pasuk itself, which says, "Ve'asuli mikdash," and you will build for me a temple. "V'chein ta'asuli dorot," and so you should do in every generation, from the time of the destruction till the coming of Mashiach, in every generation build for me a temple. So he questions, how can that be possible? We know that the third temple will only be built when the Mashiach comes, and then it will be built. Some say it will come down spiritually from heaven, where it has already been built by the Torah and the mitzvot of Am Yisrael, spiritually. And it will come down and become a physical Beit HaMikdash. Some say we have to build it. Okay. The main thing is when the Mashiach comes, we're going to build the temple. So how can Hazal say, V'chein ta'asu lidorot, and so you should do from generation to generation. In every generation, build the temple. So Reb Chaim Volozhiner explains a very important point. He says, since the pasuk says, V'shachanti betocham, I will dwell within you, it means that every Jew, according to how he perfects himself through keeping the mitzvot, through working on his character traits and being a better person, having good deeds, having merits, the more he prepares himself to be a holy vehicle, a holy throne for the divine presence to rest upon, the Shekhinah will dwell upon that person. V'shachanti betocham, I will dwell within you. This concept is developed further in the Zohar and the Arizal, who explain that just like we have 248 limbs corresponding to 248 positive commandments, 365 sinews corresponding to 365 negative commandments, so the more perfection we bring into ourselves through keeping the mitzvot and perfecting our limbs and our sinews, that in order that our body will be a holy throne for the divine presence to come in and rest upon us. Each one of us becomes a mini Bet HaMikdash. Ve'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Make yourself a mikdash. In every generation, Rabbi Chaim Volozhiner says this is demanded of us. In every generation and every year and every day, that we have to prepare ourselves to become a Bet HaMikdash by purifying ourselves, improving ourselves, building ourselves up to be more spiritual and more close to Hashem. And the closer we get, the divine presence will rest upon us. The Arizal taught very deep kavanot that a person has to have deep thoughts and intentions with the holy names, how to draw down the Shekhinah onto every part of the human body. Every part of him can become a holy throne for the divine presence to rest upon him. And this is the concept of V'chein ta'asu lidorot. So you should do in every generation. So the pasuk says, Sur mera va'aseh tov. Keep away from evil and do good. So concerning keep away from evil, we have to live holy lives of separation from the outside world, from overindulging in physicality, and eat and drink and pleasures and all sorts of involvements in the outside world. To protect ourselves and our homes from evil influence, which can penetrate our homes through all sorts of the mass media available today, smartphones and televisions and whatever else, internet. Our homes must be pure. We cannot expect the divine presence to be in our home and give us shalom bayit, give us good children, give us success and happiness in our lives and health, if our home is contaminated from without. To what extent Balak and Bil'am, who wanted to curse us as a nation and destroy us and uproot us, their evil plan was to cause us to sin and learn from the ways of the nations, when we would lose our special closeness to God, and then their curses can affect us, God forbid. So this agenda is from generation to generation also. Kamim aleinu lechalotenu, everywhere. There's always the dangers that whether from non-Jews or Jews who want to uproot the way of the Torah and the way of goodness and purity and holiness. We are a holy nation. Holy because the Shekhinah wants to rest upon us. Hashem chose us to be His Torah nation and gave us this book, the Torah, the Holy Torah, to guide us how to attain this purity. Beyond the negative commandments, which is sur mera, keep away from evil, we have all the positive commandments. The purpose of the positive commandments is to deepen our connection with Hashem and purify ourselves. Sur mera, keep away from evil so you won't be contaminated. Ve'aseh tov, do the positive commandments in order to become a holy nation and to live holy lives and to have a holy home and a holy relationship. Obviously, this includes every aspect of our lives. We understand, it's the most basic concept, that Hashem loves those who work for a living and support themselves. But working for a living means that we still remain with all the obligations of the Torah, both to keep away from evil and to do good and to study Torah and be learned in Torah. So the Torah is going to teach us how to recognize evil, keep away from it, know what's good, and do it, and do as much as you can, so that the holiness of the Torah and its mitzvot will descend upon us. Besides the positive commandments and the negative commandments, there's the area of improving our character traits. As the Pasuk says, V'halachta b'drachav, walk in the ways of Hashem, go in the ways of Hashem. Just like He's merciful, you be merciful. Just like He's kind, you be kind. Just like He does Hesed, you do Hesed. When we improve our character traits, we're making ourselves a receptacle for the divine presence to rest upon us at the highest level. Because a person who has bad character traits, even if he is wearing the best tefillin and shaking the most expensive lulav, he can still be like a wild animal because he doesn't have good character traits. And this is the basic element of Judaism, which means to be humble, to be charitable, to be helpful, to be accommodating, to keep away from anger, from jealousy. These are all another whole area of our serving to God, improving our character traits, keeping away from bad character traits, and building ourselves to be a suitable receptacle for the divine presence to rest upon us. Of course, everything is taken into account. How we dress, how we behave, how we walk and how we sit and how we laugh. Because our actions and our deeds tell about us and show what we really are. Are we humble? Are we low-key? Or are we loud and cheap and, trying to get an exterior attraction? Is that our aim? Or is our aim and our goal to come closer to Hashem and be kind to others and helpful to others and give others, so that we will build ourselves to become a mini Beit HaMikdash, where the Shekhinah can rest upon us in every generation. V'chein ta'asu lidorot, Reb Chaim Volozhiner says, we are the temple. Let's perfect ourselves. He goes so far as to say that really those who destroyed the temple, Nebuchadnezzar and then Titus, first temple, second temple, they could only break the sticks and the stones of the temple. But they couldn't affect and they couldn't cause the destruction. The cause of destruction was the sins of the Jewish people. Once they destroyed their personal mikdash, they themselves, they were sinning and not perfecting themselves to be a holy nation. So the physical Beit HaMikdash lost its spirituality and its strength and its power, and anyone could destroy it. In other words, it wasn't such a big achievement, like Rabbi Yohanan ben Zakkai told Titus, Kimchat tahina tahan. You just already ground flour. The destruction was already done through the sins of the Jewish nation, who are the mini Beit HaMikdash. Once they destroyed themselves, automatically the physical Beit HaMikdash has no holiness left in it, and you can go ahead and break it and destroy it and burn it and plow it up. So here we are, after almost 2,000 years, we have to believe that the coming of Mashiach is imminent, and everything depends on us. As Hazal said, Hayom im bekolotu tishmau. It could be today that the Mashiach will come if we listen to the demands of Hashem, if we obey His commandments, if we fulfill His mitzvot, if we become better people. All of this is in our power to do and to achieve, and to realize that we are a holy nation. Am Kohanim Begoy Kadosh, a nation of priests and a holy nation who were created to be connected to Hashem and to draw down the divine presence even to this physical world, to sanctify the whole world through the holiness of the Jewish nation.